What if the whispered moves behind closed doors at Chase Center are quietly scripting a seismic shift in Dub Nation's destiny? A free agency puzzle piece that feels simultaneously like salvation and gamble wrapped in uncertainty? Welcome back to Warriors News Fan Report, where raw truths collide with splash-era passion. Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so your heart never misses a beat. As we dive headlong into the swirling rumors and chilling rumors of this offseason, the fog is finally starting to lift just slightly on where Golden State's front office is steering this ship amid the dwindling landscape of free agents and desperate teams hunting for the next game changer. The list of star players still available, pared down to a precious few, leaves us with only tantalizing glimpses of what might come next. The latest intel from top NBA insider Brett Siegel pinpoints the Warriors' impending gambit in free agency names like Anthony Melton, Al Horford, and Jonathan Kuminga are circulating as prime targets, the very trio that could reshape Golden State's starting lineup from the inside out. Remember how quickly the narrative shifted when DeAndre Ayton mysteriously resurfaced with the Lakers after their bouts of desperation at center? Well, that's off the table. Now no more shadow games with the Lakers for Horford, whose options seem to narrow sharply toward either a Warriors comeback or an unlikely retirement, with rumors swirling that the former Celtics big man is all but done with Boston's front office and their salary cap chessboards. And Melton injured last season, a dynamic guard whose ACL setback clouds his immediate impact, but whose potential on both ends of the floor glistens like a hidden ace. His history with Golden State hints he might rejoin forces with Steph Curry to form one of the league's most fearsome backcourts, something Steve Kerr reportedly coveted before the injury struck. Then there's Jonathan Kuminga, the unpredictable and explosive wing who has yet to ink his new deal, but seems poised to bet on himself with a shorter contract, possibly a qualifying offer that keeps him in the fold while buying the team time to evaluate his growth after a roller coaster campaign. The very fact these three names dominate the whispers tells a deeper story about the team's strategy, not chasing marquee splashes, but building around versatility, experience, and the right fit within a roster still bristling with championship DNA. Brett's report also reminds us that Warriors fans tend to ride a precarious emotional carousel 1 minute, praising the front office's shrewd moves at last year's trade deadline, then blasting them into oblivion on a rumor or report this very moment. But patience may be the rarest commodity this summer. While fans clamor for instant gratification, the Warriors management is playing the long game, backed by a decade of winning 4 championships and knowing exactly which chess pieces to position for sustained dominance rather than fleeting glory. Let's talk Horford's impact. He's no towering 7-footer swatting every shot, but at 6'9", his ability to stretch the floor with a career three-point percentage near 37%, pulling defenses out of the paint, could unlock new offensive schemes Curry craves, moving away from the paint-grinding style that Looney and T.J. McConnell brought, but couldn't replicate in shooting. Picture this: Curry setting a screen for Horford curling around, launching from the arc, something that couldn't happen with Looney or McConnell clogging the lane. Horford might not be the defensive titan on the glass, but his spacing and veteran presence hold value beyond the stats, fitting perfectly with Draymond Green's versatile, switch-heavy defense and the offense's evolving motion. And Melton's return brings its own tantalizing what-ifs. Pre-injury, his tenacious on-ball defense, combined with his ability to slide seamlessly next to Curry, either as a combo guard or backup point, meant the Warriors had a backcourt combo capable of igniting games on both ends. Yet his injury and subsequent historic trade to bring in Butler threw everything into a whirlpool of uncertainty. Now rumors swirl around Kuminga's future after a quiet free agency. Does he accept the rumored $7.9 million qualifying offer and bet on proving his worth as the first man off the bench or a situational starter? Or does he push for a signing trade involving the likes of Josh Giddey, a pairing that could reshape the league's next season in subtle but seismic ways? A win-win deal that could balance Golden State's youth and grit? Meanwhile, the free Agent pool is increasingly bearing names like Malcolm Brogdon and Marvin Bagley surface, but they offer little to shake the core or ignite the kind of championship push the Warriors crave. Chris Paul remains a pipe dream, a nostalgic whisper given his fit and the team's existing backcourt shapes. The depth of desperation balloons around Valanciunas, the former Lithuanian big man now headed to Denver, but reportedly eyeing a homecoming to Greece, not ready to settle as a Joker backup. This uncertainty further cements the Warriors' path forward. In all likelihood, they'll scramble to secure Horford, Melton, and Kuminga, to three pillars around which Steve Kerr can construct a starting five that looks something like Curry. Melton, Butler, Kuminga, and Horford with Draymond glued into the rotation to run the defense. The unfolding narrative clutches tight to the question of what smooths over the offseason turbulence and what deepens it. Will the calculated patience of the front office finally reward the loyal fans with a re-energized title run, or are they unwinding a dynasty teetering on the edge of age, injury, and fading glory? As Brett Siegel's insights roll in, as rumors heat and chill in turn, the one constant is uncertainty living in the veins of Warriors Nation. How will the pieces fall, and who will be left standing when the dust settles? As a lifelong Dub Nation believer, my pulse is racing just writing this. Imagining what this offseason could mean for the heart of Golden State's glory days and their desperate grasp for relevance amid the brutal NBA grind. But is this the spark that reignites our dynasty or the crack that fractures our legacy? Drop your unfiltered takes in the comments. I'll be right there, heart in hand. If your chest just tightened reading through these swirling shadows of the offseason, and your mind spinning a million wild scenarios about what Chase Center's war room is really cooking, drop everything right now and ignite the comments with your raw, unfiltered fires, because this isn't a drill. Dub Nation, it's the crucible moment where decade-long faith clashes, headfirst with gut-wrenching possibility and bone-deep fear. No, we're not just talking about patching holes or adding complementary cogs. This feels like the blueprint for a rebirth or a reckoning, a crossroads that could either restore the dynasty's thunder or fracture it beyond recognition. Picture this: Steph Curry, still the golden heart of this franchise, watching his trusted comrades morph through a maze of injuries, trades, and whispering front office gambles, juggling the burden of legacy with the desperate lust for one more ring. That space on the floor that Horford might occupy? It's not just about spacing or veteran savvy. It's a message from Steve Kerr's system, a subtle but seismic shift away from the bruising paint battles favored the past decade, toward a fluid, graceful offense that demands precision, patience, and a toll that only Curry's magic can pay. But if Horford's return is as real as the rumors say, it's more than a roster move. It's a calculated oath to reignite that Splash Brothers plus veteran IQ, synergy we thought was drying up, while Melton's health saga pulls at the team's pulse like a fragile wire. His return promises that defensive tenacity and backcourt dynamism the Warriors have desperately missed. But can Kerr's coaching still mold a player coming off an ACL into the fulcrum of their new guard? And then we circle back to Kuminga, the wild card, the embodiment of unpolished promise, clashing against the cruel ticking clock of opportunity and expectations. Does he double down on his qualifying offer and choose the tortuous growth path within Golden State's orbit? Or does he leverage his talent into a sign-and-trade, perhaps intertwining his fate with Josh Giddey or another young star, spinning off a ripple effect that could tilt league power balances for years? It's a chess match where every move feels both desperate and divine. But beneath the surface, there's turbulence. What about Draymond? The spine of the defense, the emotional engine, and sometimes the earthquake in the locker room is this: new-look Warriors squad ready to give him the mop-up cruise he once overshadowed? Can Kerr manage the shifting egos and evolving styles without fracture? Because the last thing Dub Nation needs is tension bleeding through when unity is the only path back to glory. And let's not pretend the painful truths aren't lurking. Close, the grizzled core of Curry, Green, and Klay Thompson isn't getting any younger. Injuries aren't whispers anymore. They're thunderclaps. And the once bulletproof chemistry now faces the stress test of integration and reinvention. Brogdon and Bagley feel like echo attempts, band-aids on a lineup seeking a fresh heartbeat rather than recycled solutions. The hopium surrounding Chris Paul is just that, a nostalgic mirage fading fast amid salary cap realities and team dynamics that won't bend to fit a fading star's twilight. And in the background, the faint echo of Wiggins' destructive slide and Wiseman's stalled promise casts a shadow on any hope of smooth transition. So what does that leave? The prescribed path of strategic patience, clinging to the vision that brought us 4 rings, knowing that tearing down and rebuilding is slow poison for a fanbase hungry for the warm rush of victory celebrations. Meanwhile, rival front offices circle like vultures. Ayton's potential defection to the Lakers reminds us that the West is a bloodbath, and every understated move by the Warriors is scrutinized under a microscope of jealousy and dread. Every late-night text in Bay Area homes, every intense stare-down during free agency meetings is weighted with the fear of falling behind and the hope of a breakout. The Warriors might be scripting a tale of revival where trust in the front offices, chess play yields unseen advantages, or scrawling their final chapters in an era marked by playoff heartbreak and missed opportunities. And yet, there's this electric undercurrent of belief that something seismic is brewing, an unspoken pact that the architects of this franchise will not allow complacency to extinguish the spark that ignited a dynasty. As someone who's bled blue and gold through every buzzer beater, every parade, every cataclysmic injury, I can feel it in my bones. This isn't just an offseason. It's a test of our souls as Dub Nation. Do we buckle under the weight of fading stars and risky bets, or do we rise with the quiet ferocity that defined the Splash era, trusting the process while knowing the next chapter might demand everything we've got? The fate of our dynasty won't be handed down lightly. So now, drop your fiercest takes below. No hesitation, no sugarcoat. What's your gut saying? Is this the calm before a championship storm, or the last flicker of a fading dynasty? I'm here, reading every word, ready to throw down with every Dub Nation soul brave enough to speak their truth with me. Buckle up, because when this domino falls, the Bay's about to see fireworks or feel the collapse, and only our voices will carry us through the reckoning. What do you see on the horizon? Every late-night text in Bay Area homes, every intense stare-down during free agency meetings is weighted with the fear of falling behind and the hope of a breakout. The Warriors might be scripting a tale of revival where trust in the front offices, chess play yields unseen advantages, or scrawling their final chapters in an era marked by playoff heartbreak and missed opportunities. So as I sit here, wired after every report and ripple, feeling the familiar sting of uncertainty mixed with electric anticipation, I'm struck by the raw truth that this isn't just an off-season. It's a test of our souls as Dub Nation. Do we buckle under the weight of fading stars and risky bets, or do we rise with the quiet ferocity that defined the Splash era, trusting the process while knowing the next chapter might demand everything we've got? As someone who's bled blue and gold through every buzzer beater, every parade, every heartbreak, I can feel it in my bones. Something seismic is brewing in the Bay, a storm that might either sweep the Warriors back to the throne or pull them into a twilight struggle that tests our loyalty like never before. The fate of our dynasty won't be handed down lightly. So now, drop your fiercest takes below. No hesitation, no sugarcoat. What's your gut saying? Is this the calm before a championship storm, or the last flicker of a fading dynasty? I'm here, reading every word, ready to throw down with every Dub Nation soul brave enough to speak their truth with me. I'm reading every word, ready to debate, agree, or rage alongside you. Because this is our story, our family, and no matter the storm, Dub Nation never quits. So now I'm turning this to you, the heart and soul of Dub Nation. What's your unfiltered take? Is this the off-season that sparks a new golden age? Or are we watching the slow unraveling of a once mighty empire? Drop those takes hard, raw, no filter. I want every doubt, every hope, every fiery prediction. I'm right here in the trenches, with you, ready to burn through the noise and ride every emotional wave as the chase for glory begins anew.